All right, guys, welcome to episode 8 of the Showroom with Gavin McGrath here. I have a special guest who is one of the most amazing people that I get to work with every single day. He's so well known across our entire company and now across the country for our customers, and we'll get into that. Mike Mcatee is here, and Mike, first of all, this is our first. I want to start. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this is our first episode because we moved this back after James's passing, which has really been hard on us. He was the first one that called you to drive.
Yeah, he was the first one. I knew had been doing lot swaps and stuff, and they talked me into go get some paperwork signed for someone in special credit. He asked me to do it, and he walked me through it, and he told me what I needed to do. So it was pretty interesting. And over the years, I had become pretty good friends with him. Met his father, his brothers, brothers, and sisters, and he trusted me with his boat. I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. So he's going to be missed, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, talking about his dad, actually, just commentary. His dad and I got to sit down and talk last Friday for quite a while, and he wanted to go finish James's hunt. A lot of people know James had his heart attack while he was out hunting in the tree stand, and Jim, his dad, wanted to go finish his hunt. And so on Sunday, the week after he passed, Jim sent me a picture, and he's got a deer around his shoulders, and
cool.
Another one laying on the ground. He got 2 doe.
That's
Put some meat in the locker. So he said I finished his hunt for him. So that was pretty cool. Mike, talk about. I think it's important we start with what do you do? Explain to everybody. I know what you do, but explain to everybody what you do.
Well, I started out just doing lot swaps. I heard about it through someone in one of my groups that I'm in for 12-step groups. And I started doing long distance stuff. To be honest with you, I'm kind of amazed that I've been able to do this and go all over the country. I mean, delivering vehicles, I get a call. Hey, Mike, could you deliver this vehicle to Connecticut? And off I go. And it's been a lot of fun. And I get to see a lot of people that I've known from growing up in California all over the country. But I meet really interesting people delivering vehicles. And some of the people in the airports are pretty interesting, too. I don't know. I've had to spend a couple nights in airports, too. But got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, that's what's cool about the internet and how much we do on internet sales, and then our fleet and commercial, which I know you do a lot for them. We sell cars all over the country, and that's what you're talking about. And you are a huge part of delivering those vehicles, giving that customer, the end customer, a good experience, making sure all the paperwork's properly signed, and then that they feel good about what they bought. And how many miles have you driven for us overall? Do you know that number?
Well,
How many miles a year are you
in the last 9 years, I've been with the company 10 and a half years. First year, I didn't keep track of it. After that, I've done over 1 million miles. I'm at 97,000 miles for this year alone. And so it's driving and flying. Fly back. Sometimes bring a trade-in back, but when I go to California, they fly me back. Or there's 4 states I haven't been to, and that's Rhode Island, Maine, and Washington and Oregon for you guys. So I've been to every
other state you've been to.
Every other continental U.S. state.
So not Hawaii or
If they make a bridge, I'm sure I'll drive there.
So give us an example. You talked before about tomorrow. Like tomorrow, what are you doing?
Okay, tomorrow, myself and another driver, we have quite a few drivers in the company, but 2 of us are taking 2 new trucks to a client in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We're going to leave here at 3 in the morning, should get to Chattanooga around 4 in the afternoon, take an Uber to the airport, and get on a plane and fly back. That lands at 10:30 tomorrow night in Cedar Rapids. So it's a long day.
And so, who's buying the trucks?
Chattanooga Fire Protection is buying the trucks. We have delivered 4 vans to them in the past, and this is 2 brand new trucks. So, and that's all through fleet sales.
Unbelievable. What's been the most? Can you think of a really? I don't want. I want, first of all, tell the story about when your yaw sensors went off in the truck. When the airbags blew.
I was delivering a truck to San Antonio, Texas, and I left the hotel in the morning in Waxahachie, Texas, and I thought the driveway went to the left, but it went to the right. Well, I drove down in a little gully.
It was dark.
It was dark at 4 in the morning, and a side airbag deployed, smacked me upside the head, knocked my glasses off. I didn't know what happened, and at first I got a little confused and I straightened up a little bit and realized what happened. The thing was still running. I called the salesman. Of course, he didn't answer the phone. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. So I was still driving. I drove away with the airbag deployed, and I went to the nearest Chevy dealer, and I realized, well, I have a flight I have to take back. Well, what am I going to do? So I just took off. So I went and bought a razor blade and cut the airbags, and I drove it, and finally one of the salesmen called me back and told me to take it somewhere and we'll leave it, and they got me to the airport. Now, it turned out it was a defective sensor. It's what I didn't go off-roading at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Because it didn't. I mean, you weren't.
Yeah, it was like 4 degrees.
Yeah, it popped. Thought maybe you were rolling it.
Yeah, but it scared me.
With over 1 million miles, your track record is squeaky clean.
Yeah, pretty good. I've had.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
But you've just obviously done it.
But that was one of the first long distance trips, and I thought, oh my gosh, here I am.
And how about any interesting client stories? I mean, without naming names, obviously, is there any deliveries that you've?
I actually I ran into a woman I dated 40 years ago in California. I'd lost track of her, and I reconnected with her about a year ago. I went to get a part for our parts department at Chevy used car in Flat Rock, North Carolina. Well, she lived in Asheville, North Carolina, so I was able to have breakfast with her. And I sent a picture to your father telling him thank you for paying for me, paying for breakfast for me and my old girlfriend that I hadn't seen in 40 years. So he thought that was pretty funny. And I met some really interesting people. I mean, but it was fun to see her and reconnect, and had Thanksgiving dinner with a friend of mine that I raced motorcycles with in California back in the 70s. Last year in Tampa, Florida, I made a delivery to Punta Gorda. Left a new vehicle for a customer at the airport, but the night before was Thanksgiving dinner. I had Thanksgiving with him and his wife.
That's cool. That's neat. Well, I've had to write you up one time.
Yeah.
We're not going to name names on who it was, but let's tell that story. What happened?
Well,
this is a Hawkeye Down sale, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a Hawkeye.
When we used to go move all of our used cars indoors to Hawkeye Downs from the Chevy store.
Right.
On a Sunday, and then we'd have the week-long sale Monday through Saturday, and then move them all back. That was a lot of fun. It worked really well.
I go out of town a lot, and I had him cover for me on some jobs, and he dropped the ball one time, and I made a comment during this Hawkeye Down saying that we had moved enough cars that let the other team do it. And he made a comment to me that I didn't think was appropriate, and I unloaded on him verbally and threatened to beat his And when we got back to Cedar Rapids, he ran. We got out of the van and ran away. So I apologized to everyone about my language, and you called me. I was doing a delivery for you with another driver, Dennis, about we were in Nashville,
Yeah.
and we're delivering a vehicle for you, and he said when I got back, he wanted to have a talk with me. And I said, okay. So we brought back some beer for you from your client, and you told me what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah. And,
Vince Lombardi's nephew.
Yeah, Vince Lombardi.
He had the Vince Lombardi beer.
Yeah, we brought back 2 cases of
That's
Vince.
right.
And so I walk in your office, and he said, shut the door. And so he said, he said, my language, and I said, yeah, I take full responsibility. I should have handled it better. I said, I'm a grown up. I should have dealt with it, and I apologized to everybody in the vehicle for my language, and you wrote me up. So,
Well, and I will say you had the right judge of character there, because turns out that gentleman was stealing from us.
Mm-hmm.
It was. Did you ever hear what he was doing?
Yeah,
I think you did. He would go to a gas station.
and get duplicate fuel receipts
Yes.
at all hours of the morning, and
Yeah.
places that we didn't even go to, and our boss figured it out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because there you approved notice that there was, I think, a total of like 150 different credit cards. The last 4 digits is what's prints on the receipts. And so it was April Keegan.
Yeah.
I think she realized, like, there's like 5 credit card receipts, and they're all 5 different credit card numbers. Because you'd go in and he'd just say, hey, I'm on pump 2. He may be on pump 1, but there's a car
Right.
pump 2. I need a receipt for car pump 2. So, and then he'd submit all these.
fraudulently stealing.
Fraudulent.
Yeah.
So he ended up getting in a lot of trouble. I took away the write-up, didn't I?
Yeah,
I
you
said,
did,
I tore
you
that thing
did.
up. We're
You
taking
did.
it out of your file because you were right on that one. You judged the character
But I
dead
told
on.
you, I wasn't a model citizen in my youth, so I could spot that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
well, I mean, if you don't mind, we can get into that. So you're very open and are very
Yeah.
great about sharing your background and how far you've come in your life.
Yeah.
And you've told me before your rock bottom was Marion Police Department.
Lived in California my whole life, and in 2007, I had hit bottom. I was a drunk and a drug addict, and so I have a son that lives out here. So I was going to leave my home. My grandmother left me a nice home in North Hollywood, California, and I was going to sign it over to my son, and he said, "Well, why don't you sell the house and move to Iowa?" So I figured, okay, yeah, whatever. I'll just sign the paperwork. He'll go back to Iowa, and I'll go back to being a drunk. Well, I'll be damned. The house sold in 5 days for $100,000 more than we were asking for it, and off I went to Iowa. Well, I screwed up, and that didn't really, just changing the location didn't change my lifestyle. I mean, I had to do some work. I was here 17 days, and I passed out on the Marion Police Station front lawn, and I thought it was a library. I passed out. So finally, I checked myself into detox on December 3rd of 2007. I weighed 107 pounds, and I got into detox, and I went to treatment. And I actively, since then, had been part of a 12-step program that's been very helpful and meaningful to me. And I've been drug and alcohol-free for quite a few years. And how I heard about this job with McGrath is another friend of mine in the program told me about it, and I applied, and they hired me, and Nate Gorman hired me, and then I saw your father one day. She was flipping burgers for a employee that had passed away in a kayaking accident.
Oh, yes.
And I introduced myself to him, and I was wearing an In-N-Out Burger shirt. And your dad asked me, he said, "You ever eat there?" I said, "Well, yeah, I grew up in California, and I used to cut school to go get lunch there, and the nearest one was 25 miles away, so we did go back for the afternoon class." But anyway, he had said he had been at a Chevy conference the week before in San Diego, and they went and had In-N-Out Burger, so we had a little something in common. And I'd see him, and I'd say, "Mr. McGrath." He finally said, "You can call me Pat." So one day, I'm walking down the hallway where your office is now, and he said, "Hey, Mike, come here. I said, I got a question for you. What brought you to California, to Iowa?" I said, I was honest with him. I said, I was a drug addict and an alcoholic. I needed to change my life. And so I think I learned early in the program to be honest. If somebody finds out that you're a recovering alcoholic or an addict in some other way, then you tell them, they feel you lied to them by omission. So I'm very straight up about it. You're very good about I made a bunch of dumb mistakes in my life, and this isn't one of them. So
yeah,
I've been here quite a while, and
how many years is it sober?
If I make it to March 2nd, it'll be 13 years in a row.
That's amazing.
So
that's an amazing accomplishment, and the fact you took ownership and
it changed me, and turned my life around, and got my friends that didn't want to be around me changed. I changed the way I should, and
you've also helped a lot of people, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what happens at AA, and I know you're still really involved, but also, we have certain employees you've reached out to, and we've actually had you help with.
I try and share my experience, strength, and hope with them, what was freely given to me, and it worked for me. So it doesn't guarantee that it'll work for everyone, but I can only tell them what worked for me. Yeah. And here I am.
And that's even just doing this videos. It takes a lot of strength, I mean, I know you're very open about it, but that can't be easy.
No.
Because there's probably some always initial judgment that you feel other people will have when you admit that. But if you're such a unbelievably vulnerable and honest and open human being, having known you now for 10 years, that's why I thought it'd be cool to come on, because yes, I want to hear your story, but I also think it's valuable and impactful for people. Outside of even our company, because you're very good about talking to people in our company.
Yeah.
So
people, when I asked for help, people gave me help. And when I finally had enough, had hit bottom, I needed to have somebody help me. Yeah. So I'm there, and I'm still working. So I mean,
and you're such an uplifting, positive, energetic. I mean, when I can hear your energy walking down the hallway, and then you always peek in, and remember you always would give me cinnamon.
Yeah, cinnamon gum.
Icebreakers gum. I'm like, you don't need to keep spending money on the gum. Fun. I loved it though. I mean, I loved it, and I was like, I feel bad that you keep giving, but I would eat it. I mean,
the funny thing about that, I see you come in to commercial sales and. You go grab a couple pieces of gum. What the hell? I'm going to Walmart on Sunday after my meeting and my weekly ritual, and I'll grab one of those. I just throw it on his desk as I go down the hallway.
But that's the kind of guy you are. You're so thoughtful. Yeah. You're caring. You just have a huge heart.
Thank you.
And that's it's special, and we're fortunate that you, I mean that genuinely, are able to touch so many lives in the role that you are, because you talk and know so many people in our company and so many customers.
Yeah.
I mean, you just delivered Tahoe down to Maryland for me.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, that Mike guy's awesome. And I get a text message, from the guy, Mike's amazing, that touch is so impactful, and you are impactful. And I hope you know that.
Thank you.
I want to make that clear and tell you that, because you do make a difference.
Thank you. I just enjoy it. I have so much fun. I work harder being retired than I did when I worked. So, but I have fun.
Talk about your work background. When you were in California.
I was in
Mechanical.
I was in the automotive end. I was a mechanic and a service manager, and I did built some movie cars and built race cars, and very fortunate to be able to learn from a lot of the top people in the business, and did a little driving and television shows. Did a Fall Guy episode and a Chips episode, and
Did you really?
yeah,
I don't know about the Chips.
yeah. So it was fun, but again, I had the fun lifestyle of racing motorcycles, stock cars, and off-road cars, but the alcohol got me in the end. I didn't want to do anything but drink and snort cocaine.
Yeah.
And I've been drug-free 17 years, and like I said, coming up on 13 and alcohol-free. So, and I quit smoking cigarettes too. It'll be
How long has that been?
17. It'll be 17 and 20, and January 4th it'll be 17. It'll be 7 years. January 4th.
I heard that's harder than even you from your experience.
Yeah, I did it with acupuncture,
Did you?
but I wanted to, again, I'd already quit cocaine was easy for me to quit. The alcohol was hard. And the cigarettes was in between, but I wanted to do it. So the acupuncture, I went and it just,
Yeah.
I haven't had the desire.
What about who have you connected with? And was there anybody that stands out as somebody that you, as you worked here, connected with a lot, or that you're really close with? Mentor, I don't know if mentor is the right word, or just great relationship.
Tyler Jansen, when commercial took off, he says to me, he's been a big help. Sean Ritchie, you call me up, hey Mike, can you do this? Yeah, I can. The people I didn't get along with aren't here anymore. So I don't know how, what can I say? Maybe I'm a good judge of character. I don't know. But, I get along with everybody, pretty much. I mean, I always have. And at least now when I'm with people, it's from the heart. It's not because I want something,
Yep.
So, and the opportunity and I'm very grateful for the chance to do it. How many people would let a guy that used to snort so much cocaine and drink alcohol and steal cars drive around in a $100,000 Escalade, So here I am. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I never thought in my wildest dreams at 70 years old I'd be delivering cars across the country. I figured I never even thought about hitting 60.
Yeah.
So, and it's fun.
How far you've come.
When I came in here, here's just a old guy with a long ponytail, and I still got one, but that's another story. But
You give the locks of love every year, don't you?
yeah, no, not Locks for Love. I don't. I do it to Wigs for Kids. I found out that Locks for Love charges for the wigs, and I thought that was not right.
Yeah.
So
Wigs for Kids.
yeah, and that way, for cancer patients and stuff. My oldest sister is a breast cancer survivor, and so I started donating it. And like I told you before, when the next time, it's in your mom's name, So,
Well, you know my mom. I mean, you even helped her out.
Yeah,
a few times.
I would go get all these chairs, and oh yeah, it was fun.
Couple trips in Chicago. Maybe?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, couple of those. But yeah, that was. She called me up and she says, "Is this Mike the driver?" I said, "Yeah." And yeah, she said about AA and went and took care of business. That's helped her out.
Yeah, she was at a friend that you helped out.
Yeah.
Get her moved back home. She was struggling with her own addictions, and then you helped her get moved out and helped her connect with some AA folks.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by the impact you've had.
Well, I've been fortunate that I can share it. It just, I'm very blessed that I had the second chance. I mean, it wasn't easy in the beginning, that's for sure. I just, I struggled.
I bet.
Trying to go from 40 years of drinking and snorting and to nothing. So it took some work.
Anything else? I mean, is there anything else that is on your mind that you?
No, I just things are going good. I mean, I had a mild heart attack a while back, and kind of a wake-up call, I guess. Orrin and I were talking about that today. And, excuse me. So I changed my eating habits a little bit. So, and
what are you doing for fun right now?
I go home. Like today when we're done here, I'm going to go home, make early dinner, and go to bed and get up at 2 and get on the road. So, like I said, I work harder being retired than I did when I was a service manager. So, who knows? And look, I haven't even thrown one F-bomb yet. I have to laugh when you see the bloopers of when you guys' commercials between Jamie and Lindsay. And, it's pretty fun.
Did you see the last one of the sibling? What did we do? The sibling. The word association.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was actually fun.
Yeah, you guys are having fun. That's for sure.
Yeah, these guys do an amazing job. Amazing job. And so do you. And you just need to know how impactful you are to the organization and the impact on the lives. And our purpose is change people's lives, and you do that every day. So.
Yeah, it's fun. I worked before I retired in 2004 to stay drunk. I worked for 4 Wheel Parts, and it's a large company. Transamerica Auto Parts, and they treated us really well. But this family here is just it's a fun place to work, and it's a great atmosphere. I mean, lunch on the weekends. I mean, the donuts on cake on the first Thursday of the month. It's cool. I mean, it's just a fun place to be,
We appreciate that and appreciate everything you do, and thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for the opportunity.
That's not easy, Mike. So.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything, and I hope you have a great Christmas.
Maybe
man.
5 more years. I'll be 75. You're sentenced to life without parole with me.
Yeah, I got a contract extension. You think Soto got a big extension? McAtee's got a big one coming. All right. Well, thanks for your time, and thanks everybody. We'll see you next
guys.
time.